Yeah. We're going to let the room fill up. We're going to let everybody fill in. But you guys know who this is, man. You guys know how this thing roll. Hit that beat. That beat drop so clean, fam. Hey, when we talk, we deliver the thunder.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed, man.
They liking these jumps too, so it's going pretty good. I like them.
Hell
I like
yeah,
Bill. I can't wait till the season start, man. Keep these things going.
Man, you already know how it goes, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. We're gonna start this thing off right from the top, man. Akoye. Let them know, man, who you are, man. Let them know where you are, where you from, and all this good stuff. Oh,
yes, sir.
Make sure that your chat box is filling up too as well. Let me know once you get to at least 10 people. We ain't gonna start this thing until we at least get 10 people in there.
I'm on yours. And I'm looking at mine. I was looking at yours. So
let me pull up that thing too as well. Yes, yeah. Indeed. Impromptu, but we're gonna be live like this every Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
It's official.
Tuesday at 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Yes, indeed. The official. I don't know what we're gonna call this show, man. What we gonna call it, man?
I don't know.
You're entering into the knowledge room.
Right.
The knowledge
room. Law knowledge or something like that. Or law knowledge.
Oh man, that would be nice. Law knowledge.
It's about
Akoye.
It's about 13 people in here, so we can.
Really? I used to say when I first started, man, I ain't gonna lie. I used to say, man, once we had 2 people, cause I used to jump on live, it'd be like 3 people just hanging around. Like I was like, what's up?
Oh yeah, they in here. They in here. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed, man. Let me turn the music down. Y'all gonna just hear our voice. You guys not gonna hear the soft mellows in the background because I want you guys to hear us. You know what I mean? That's how greedy I am. You know, I'm greedy.
Yes, sir.
Greedy. I turned the little backdrop out. Hey, this is the thing. We're going to talk training camp. We're not going to talk the PC, the politics. I know you guys got tired of me talking about that. You guys know that I don't back down from anything anyway. So, hey, you guys get my raw thunder, my raw thoughts, my raw emotions, my raw feelings, things like that. But Akoye, accumulating knowledge over years of experience. Talk to him, man.
How y'all doing, man? Shout out to the people watching on Law Nation's channel and those of you who tuned in on mine as well. Like Law said earlier, we're gonna be bringing you these shows every Tuesday, like clockwork. So we hope you guys enjoy them and leave suggestions in the chats as well in regards to what y'all want to hear as we go through. I am looking as we go through this show. But once again, it's been a hell of a ride this year, and let's get this shit going, man.
Hell yeah. Hey, no, man. This is real deal. It's nighttime. All the kids should be in bed. We're going to talk about this football. I heard a little bird told me that LVE got 2 forced fumbles today, man.
I mean, he got a knack for that, though. I can't even hate on the kid. He definitely got a knack for that. Like, that's 100.
I mean, if we can get turnovers, takeaways, fumbles, slap your mama, drop the football, and pick it up and put down 6 points on the board for the defense, if they can score, my God, man, this team would be something else, man. Well, mine is slap your mama, slap your daddy then, since they're going to be out there. Yeah.
Slap somebody.
Slap somebody, because this team, we was talking about identity, right?
Right.
We talked about Rob Marinelli, whereas he plays with third down or it's third and long. We all saw the classic play where he lined up everybody on the money line, and he said, "Okay, we don't want nobody to get to this line." But right. I'm thinking that with Chris Richard, did you get a chance to see that takeaway, that interception that Byron Jones did the other day?
That was textbook, man. That was textbook. He got right on the inside hip. I think that was Gallup. He was
it was somebody that he got.
One of them was one knockdown was Lance Lenore.
No, it was Deontay Thompson. Yeah,
okay,
Deontay Thompson.
Okay, yeah. And Deontay a burner too.
He a burner, but when we talked about this before, when you're 6'2", and I think that Pro Football Focus had Byron Jones as one of the fastest cornerbacks or defensive backs in the NFL last year. Remember he hawked down that guy?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, Byron Jones, X-File.
That's a fact. Something wrong with him. I saw him when he popped his knee back in, man. Like, that was amazing to me. It's like, I enjoy Byron Jones, as y'all know. Like, he's one of my favorite players on the team. So it's good to see that he's actually taking a transition in stride, because you know a lot of people in our comments, both our comments, because you did a lot of pieces on Byron Jones before I did my one and only. But I've been reading our comments back and forth in regards to that, and there's a lot of people who thought that he was trash just because of the positions we put him in. But and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm one of them. I thought he was before I started watching his film. As I started watching this film, I realized like how we used him when it came to big body receivers and athletic tight ends. Other than, you know, I think Jordan Reed kind of did him dirty a couple times, but I was impressed by what he did against Vernon Davis, Ertz, you know, even Kelsey. Even though when Kelsey scored on him, he limits tight ends that give everyone else fits, man. And the most impressive part is the fact that he could survive a punch, man. Like they be smacking him around, but he deal with it. So I don't see a wide receiver being able to out physical this guy, man. I'm talking about even your D Hops when we play the Texans, he's physical as they come. They're not gonna be. He's not gonna be able to really, you know, rough him up. You can't rough Byron Jones up as a receiver. If a tight end can barely deal with him, and he's not a real big guy. He's only 200 pounds.
Yes, indeed. He's freakish, man. Oh, I forgot, man, how disrespectful I am. I got to give a shout out to those who in the chat box, man. My bad. Hey,
facts.
Let me go back up, man. My bad. I apologize. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Hey, I always try to be humble, man. Just let me know if I ever get off that humble chair. Shout out to Promo World. Shout out to him. He was the first person to lay wood in the chat box. Kneel high. He says he's second place, and I kill. I ain't going to talk about you because your name, man. He said he killed, but he's third place. He's in there. Hey, but you still got to step it up, though. Step it up.
Right.
Hey, and I'm going to jump over to my panel, man. My Facebook panel. Those who out there who follow me on Facebook, I think it's Stokes, who's #1, Bobby McLean. Shout out to you, John Sparks, man. I saw you earlier today. Kerry Teagle and Bobby, man, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the official, y'all on the Facebook panel, always showing love, showing us the flavor out there. And who you got on your side, man?
We got the one and only April Stanton. I gotta shout her out first.
Right.
You know,
she one of the Patreons?
Yeah, she's definitely a Patreon.
Man, official. Man, that's what I'm talking about.
Always, man. Always showing love and supporting the page. The crazy thing, but I had a dude drop me because I put Patreon in my videos. I was like, man, peace, man. Get out of here. But he's like, you on Patreon? I said, yeah. He's like, I'm out of here. I said, all right, man, peace. But you know,
one bites the dust.
Exactly. They come and they go, man. Deffy Dorsey. You know, he said he was jumping on. I appreciate you jumping on. Then you got a Cowboy X Factor. You know, I see a lot of familiar faces or familiar names on here. So, like I said, I appreciate all y'all jumping on. And I wish I could jump out there and say everybody's name. But at the end of the day, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know I got mad love for everything y'all do because y'all giving me life, man. There's nothing for us to really talk about if y'all not watching.
Man, they already know how crazy I am. I will talk to the wall about Cowboys, you know. I'm like, hey, thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session. And today we're looking at the wall. And did you guys see LVE take the turnover? And the wall just be looking at me like, bruh, come on now.
You be nudging them trying to see if he's saying something like, hey, man.
Right. I'm one of those fans that I have a long conversation with you. And then at the end of the conversation, I say, how about them Cowboys? And they be like, man, get out of here. Right. Yes, indeed, man. So Byron Jones, he's showing up, he's showing out, and then on top of that, we have LVE getting 2 forced fumbles. Man, I can just rest my case from right here, man.
That's huge.
Yeah, we want to talk about this too. Wide receiver play, man.
I'm hearing that Gallup is trashing people, man. Like I like what I'm hearing about Gallup. Even Deontay Thompson is looking good according to Spagnuolo. I was reading his mail blog earlier today on the Cowboys channel. So I'm liking what I'm hearing in regards to our wide receivers. I want to know who's going to emerge as that guy, though, that's going to draw that double team or draw that bracket coverage. And namely, speaking of bracket coverage, Cole Beasley, man. Cole Beasley is killing right now in camp. You know, he's killing. I saw him run a route against Jordan Lewis. And I give Jordan Lewis credit. He looked like he was glued to his hip. But, you know, Cole Beasley did a comeback route, caught the ball on him. But Jordan was right there. but for him to even be able to move in such a way that where Jordan can't really anticipate is hard to do, because he like Velcro out there, man. That's what they call him, I heard too.
Hell yeah. I seen Jordan Lewis get embarrassed too as well by number 17. But it was on one of those clips, on somebody's clip, and I'm sitting there saying, man, I'm looking for the clip. I'm looking for the original clip. I just can't find it because they got all of their writings all over it. And I don't mind the writings putting all over it, but you know, you got stuff all in the middle of it. You know, you really can't really just take it. I'm not trying to take it and repost it without, you know, giving you credit, but come on, man. All my videos, guys, I make it without the logo on it now, if you guys see it, so that people can free use my videos. If you see my video out there, free to use the video. But this is what I was going to say. Right. Emmanuel Sanders said that although he played wide receiver too, he said that Cole Beasley inside short area spaces is better than him, and he had more ups than him. So that speaks volumes, guys. And we know how bad Emmanuel Sanders is, man. That boy is nasty, man. Yes, I saw what he did to Lewis. Everybody know what he did to Lewis last year in Denver, man. He put him on his ass, and that's hard to do. But yeah, I like Emmanuel. You actually made me respect him a little more when you put me on to David Robinson. Actually, I've been watching David Robinson, and as I watch him, you know, he works with Emmanuel closely, so I see a lot of him. Yeah, I mean, Dave Robinson been working with Rico. I heard that Rico was starting with the first team. He worked with Noah Brown and Lance Lenoir. I'm hearing good stuff about Lance Lenoir. I love the wide receiver core being competitive. I love everybody just trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this team? You know what I mean? Right. Nobody laying down saying, okay, this team is given to you. And did you check out that other kid, like 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", 6'8"? They just labeled him from 6'3" all the way to 6'6". Wow. That's what they labeled him as. This guy's name is Mikael McKay. I heard somebody asked me to do a breakdown on him, but I haven't been paying much attention to him, to be honest with you. So many other names I've been looking at, and I've been working on the defensive line, so I'm not looking at offense right now. So that's why I haven't really been paying him any mind. But I heard his name about twice, but I didn't know who they were talking about. Man, the dude X-File too as well. I know it was only catching one pass, but I had some people, the aficionados, the people out there live out there at Oxnard, they saying, man, this guy is noticeably tall, right? And if we talk about windows, when the quarterback is trying to fit that ball into the window, this brother got a whole balcony view. And just how long he is, man. Oh man, I gotta jump to this one. Number one, thanks April with the super chat. She just donated, so cha-ching on that. I appreciate you. But she wants me to say, I got you. Have I noticed Donovan Alumba? I've noticed that Alumba, he was a camp star. He was a training camp star for 1 day, according to the Dallas Cowboys scouts. Broadus, Eatman, and Spagnolia were writing about him. I haven't seen much footage other than what I did when I started to do tape on him. But I haven't seen what he's done in training camp because it's hard to get that footage. But yeah, I've heard quite a bit about him. He actually looks a lot like Richard Sherman when he's in pads, too. Right. You do. I mean, the way he moves, I mean, not just the fact that he has dreads. It's like the way he moves, his body language is like, it looks less athletic than it is, but he's where he needs to be. Boy, but he was rolling on skates today. I saw some highlights today, bruh. Olamba looked like he was just flying out there on skates, bruh. I mean, Allen Hurns ate him up, and some other little receiver ate him up inside him. I said, God, man. Yeah, they gonna get those hello rookie, welcome to the NFL, checks right now. They gonna get G-checked a couple times. That goes without saying. Honestly, this is what I'm gonna say about our wide receiver core this year, man. Right. You notice I don't beat them up a lot, and the reason being, I know Dez is not there, so somebody has to go through the growing pains of becoming that guy. And it might not be who we think it is from inception. Like, you remember when Victor Cruz just bust out of nowhere in preseason one year. I was watching him versus the Jets, and he looked like Randy Moss out there. So, but in training camp, he wasn't looking like that. You know what I mean? So you talking about an old school Victor Cruz or new Victor Cruz? No, the Victor Cruz, the guy that we see right now is so,
But the when he first came in the league, you know, the first year he was ever in the league, he emerged because some players do well in practice. Dak is not even a good practice.
No, hell no, he ain't a good practice at all.
He's trash in practice. But some people practice real well, some don't. So I don't really take that much. I don't give that much weight to what I see right now or what I hear out of camp, because I've heard of guys like, you know, killing in camp, and then, you know, they look like crap, you know, once the game starts. And I'm a guy like that. Like, when, not saying I was great at something, but in high school, in practice, I'm kind of going through the motions. But in a game, if I'm chasing you, I'm on you. So it's like some people just play different when something is on the line. Some people fight different when something's on the line. It just depends on the person. So I want to see what we look like against the Panthers. That's a good litmus test week 1. And then I'll start saying, okay, preseason and the Panthers. I just want to see, like, those last 2 preseason games and then the Panthers. I want to see what we have then. And then I'll start getting excited. But I'm trying to temper my excitement on the young guys right now. And I'm definitely not going to beat the wide receiver core up too bad this year, because I know it's, you know, we're trying to find that guy, and it might take a while.
Yes, indeed. And yes, just to piggyback off what you said, I think I'm getting a little echo on my end. But let me see if I can fix this up. But yeah, just to piggyback off what you said, bro.
Yeah.
I was like that too as well when it comes to the collegiate and the education aspect.
Yeah.
Man, I used to wait till the last day to do my term paper. It was just something about the time that I try to do my term paper or write my thesis the day before. I mean, like the week before, weeks out. I mean, like, man,
like crunch time.
It's like, it was horrible. But the day, like the day of, you know, if I can just, or the night before, I could just get everything. And I used to always be one of those guys that always mess with the teacher.
I got Gallup. I mean, I was the same way when it came to school, though.
Yeah,
like,
school.
I never had to study. I never had to study.
Yeah.
But I was about to say, I have. I see people talking about what Gallup going to have. I'm kind of responding out loud to them. But
no, you good.
I got Gallup doing at least 8 to 1,000 yards this year, 8 touchdowns if he can stay healthy. Why do I say that? Because
I'm just saying, wow. You go ahead.
Wow. Yeah. No, I mean that though. Hearns is tough, but Hearns, I think, has a lot of battle scars. So I don't know how healthy Hearns will stay. And I know Hearns definitely needs someone on the other side to take attention away from him, whether that be Beasley, Austin, or Gallup, or McKay, whoever that is. Hearns will work you underneath, sort of like Fitzgerald. So Hearns will do what he does as long as Dak feels comfortable throwing him that ball across the middle in those tight spots, probably in the red zone too. But Gallup is probably the nastiest receiver we have as far as tenacity. So if he can stay healthy, I got Gallup putting up some pretty good wide receiver 2 numbers this year.
Yeah, he doing some crazy freaky stuff out there. The thing is too, every year we have the Andy Jones. Remember Andy Jones last year?
Yep.
And we have the guys that come out of the nowhere, and we think that they're going to be something, and then when preseason come, they either drop a ball or fumble or do something crazy. So I'm like you a little bit, but I'm a little bit more like pumped up a little bit by this wide receiving core. But it was deep down. Let me give you guys some honest opinions, honest thoughts. I meant to say, deep down, I'm kind of like, man, are they gonna let me down again? You know,
man.
It's one of those things, man, that I always have a small thing about these wide receivers, because we just need, you know how the Steelers came up with Anthony Brown, with their Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
When he drafted him like late.
Yeah, Antonio Brown is like, he reminds me a lot of Gallup, and I'm not talking about the way they play. I'm talking about their just tenacity.
Right.
And their urge to get the, you know what?
We need a breakthrough like that. That's what I wanted to say. We need a breakthrough like that. We need somebody to come out of the heaps, like out of the woodsheds, and be like, okay, I'm here. I'm ready to perform. I'm ready to make things happen, you know?
Yep, that's a fact. Shout out to Charles Namasaka, too. I appreciate you, brother. If you got a question, you can go ahead and type that in there. I'll jump on it. But shout out to you for donating, man. Help grow this channel. I appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
But as far as Bryant's, we had our own Antonio. Remember, we had
don't say Sam Hurd or somebody.
His name was Antonio too. Number 88.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Antonio Bryant. Antonio Bryant reminds me a lot of Gallup and Antonio Brown too, where people weren't really expecting him to come up and be as good as he was, but he came in with that same fiery tenacity, even though he had some alcohol issues and kind of fizzled out. But
he threw the jersey into Parcells' face.
Yeah,
he was that guy.
Yeah, that was not smart. But but we it seemed like all the 88s we have are fiery guys, man. They just talk.
Man, go ahead and tell me what you think about your number 88. I'm gonna say your number 88.
Yeah, now he belongs to me now, right?
I wasn't gonna touch the topic on Dez Bryant, but man, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Get it off your chest.
I kind of got everything I had to say off of it. You know, my initial response was the same as Dez's when I looked at the tweet and they showed just the half the quote. It seemed worse than what it was. I think there's a little bit of both. You know, Stephen Jones definitely is a communications ace, probably better than both of us. So he knows how to, you know, mask and guise what he wants to say. Mm-hmm. And he was taking a stab, but he threw Witten's name in there to lessen the blow. But at the end of the day, I just say, look, let that man eat. Let him not eat. Whatever he want to do over there, if he want to retire, and you know, because it looks like he doesn't really care about playing football again. So I kind of refrain from speaking up for him because he's speaking up for himself. Number one. And number two, he doesn't really seem to be worried about the backlash. So if he gets with Ty Haley, great. If Antonio Brown is trying to recruit him to the Steelers now because of Juju's illness, great. If he plays over there,
what happened to Juju, man? That boy was something else.
It's an undisclosed illness, you know. But they still have James Washington over there. But who knows? I know Antonio was saying that he wants him to play over there with him. So if he gets in that groove and he actually plays ball, I'm more interested in seeing Dez than hearing Dez, to be honest with you. So I want to see what he does. I want to see him get on the team, and I want to see him ball out. You know, whoever he plays for, you know, I'm going to be rooting for him because I am a fan of Dez Bryant. But you know, until he plays the Cowboys. That's
yes,
all.
Indeed.
and then I give him, you know, the old break a leg.
Break a leg, take. But this is the thing, man, and just to be one on Dez Bryant's side on just this one little thing. You know, the guy that tweeted out that at Sirius XM satellite radio, they fired his ass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they fired him. They said, okay, you are unprofessional. We're going to get rid of you. You stirred up the pot. You didn't put the whole story out there because the way he chopped it up. I said, well, God dog.
Right.
They didn't make the apology. They didn't get out there and say, well, we apologize for, you know, this and that. They just went on ahead and fired the guy. So I'm saying, like, man, that's what's it, man. So it's something like that, you know, that I look back and say, makes you wonder, you know.
And that's unfortunate. That kind of lends to the idea, like the media has a lot to do with a lot of the shitstorm that's going on, you know, in the NFL right now. And that's unfortunate because we have to keep taking breaks and talking about things that have nothing to do with football. And I appreciate everybody bearing with us while we do that. But it is what it is. You know, I think Dez was going to play this year, but, you know, that's only if he wants to, you know, chill out long enough to be able to sign with somebody, or if he wants to humble himself enough to sign with a team that doesn't fit his standards. I mean, he's really stuck with those two choices right now.
For the amount of work that Rock Nation is doing, man, he can sign. Man. I need to go get my agency license and say, hey, Dez, sign up with Law Nations, man. I promise you, I can tell you what to say.
Right now, I'm a better agent right now. Like I done said more to help this man's cause than they have since I've been watching. You know what I mean? I know that, you know, they're professionals, but it's not like it's Jay-Z out there working these deals.
I bet you Jay-Z's just saying it's only entertainment.
Right. I don't understand it, man. I haven't seen anything like that. Like at the end of the day, when you think it's chill, it's not. But to his credit, though, to Dez's credit, nobody's ever really paid attention to what he said on Twitter until now. So now you have the media watching everything he says. If he says, hey, I want to play for the Niners, that becomes front page news now, whereas before it's all jokes, you know. So nah, But
Yeah.
but I definitely I want to jump into the D line as well. I think
Yeah, let's break that down. We going back to football. We ain't talking about nobody who ain't playing football. Shout out to Voch Lombardi though. I sent you the link already. You already got the platform link. You already know that you home skillet. You always have a chair you can always jump on. I won't hold you for 2 hours. I'll be holding Voch Lombardi hostage in this day. He be like, "Big, let me out, man." I'm like, "You gonna stay here? You gonna give us all the information you know right now." But go ahead and talk about that D-line, boy.
Man, namely, I just did I actually been working on a couple of videos for them, but D-Tone Jones, and you put me on D-Tone Jones too. I gotta give you credit for that. You said his name. I think you were like joking around and said his name because he was like, you was like, watch him. I said, man, he's a bum.
He wearing my boy number, Hollywood.
I thought he was a bum, man. I sat there and watched his film. I said, oh, okay, because when I watch the D-line, I'm not looking at Crawford usually. I'm not looking at D-Tone. I'm not looking at anybody other than Irving, Tank, Taco, those guys, because I was evaluating them all year. But then I said, oh, okay, let me pay attention because he only played the last 3 games, so I didn't get a real chance to watch him. But he a beast. I like him. I think he now that he's on the team, I think he has starting potential too, or at least a heavy rotation guy. But I mean, I gotta say, Taco, man, he got to show me something in this camp, man, because I didn't like the film that I did on him, and I didn't want to put it out because it felt like a hit piece. But watching Collins and him one-on-one in training camp, man, Collins is throwing him around like a rag doll too. So it's like Taco got to get it together, man.
This is the thing I see from Taco. Although he getting his butt whooped, hashtag ass whoop is from Voch Lombardi. He say speed, strength, and ass whoop. That's on his T-shirt. Although he's getting beat down, this is what I like about Taco. Taco is still fighting though. He didn't. Right. I don't know if you saw that clip from Brian Price. I'm talking about Travis. What is it? Travis Frederick. Then grabbed him like this. You know how when you the little guy. You can win. You can throw them jabs until that big guy do like this. When he do like this, it means it's over with. That means he grab you. He finna hit the ground.
He put them paws on you.
He put them paws on you. And then he got back up and he was like, okay, he walked back to the end of the line. No. Not as my defensive tackle. And then today I heard from 105.3 The Fan. You guys already know I always like to give them out a shout out. 105.3 The Fan. Brian Broder said, you know what? Right now, he would rather take a defensive tackle versus a Earl Thomas on his team because he think that a defensive tackle help, because this is where we mostly need our help at, is defensive tackle up front. And I was like, man, oh, wow. Okay, talk to me, because we've been echoing this for what? The last 3 weeks, the last 4 weeks, I'll say the last month, and now he just not realizing that we need a defensive tackle more than a safety? Come on now.
You're 100% right, man. I've been watching – I've been watching 2016 Giants to see what they did to sweep us that year, because just piggybacking off of what Stephen Jones said about that getting back to that 2016 form. So I said, well, look, the only team that really handed it to us that year were the Giants. So let's go see what they did to shut both Zeke and Dak down. And I've been watching Jonathan Hankins, man. Him and Snack Harris were killing us. Those big guys in the middle, they keep 2 in the middle. They don't really have a 3 technique guy. They have 2 1 gap guys or 1 technique guys, and they pretty big bodies, and they allow their defensive ends to be as athletic as they want, because both of those guys require a double team. They suck up space. They do a lot of defensive holding. They're very creative. And Jonathan Hankins, coming from that mold, I think would be a great piece to have next to or behind Collins. But that's a great segue too. A healthy Collins is probably the reason they're not really running after a true 1 tech guy. Collins can play the 3, but I've watched him play 1 all last year, sacrifice himself on stunts, grab, hold, take the entire line and cave it in. D-Tone Jones is pretty good at that too. Even though he doesn't have the size, D-Tone reminds me of Leroy Glover, or one of those John Randall guys, where they're not big, but they play with so much ferocity that you can't mess with them in there. So those sap type guys. Now I'm not saying he has those level of skill, but I'm talking about the tenacity is there, where they're not big guys, but they play bigger than their size, and you can leave them in unique spots and situations so that they can suck up space and suck up blocks.
No doubt, man. And shout out to John Jones. He must be the cousin of Dayton Jones for making the donation to help grow the nation, man. I appreciate it. He must be the cousin. This is the thing, man. Man, I really appreciate that.
Chandler Jones too.
Chandler Jones. All these Jones.
From Arizona Cardinals knock a whole he knocked a sled in half. He ripped it in half, man.
Oh yeah. I saw that on Twitter, man. I said,
him and his brother on steroids, man.
Yeah, that boy's on something special, man. Hey, check that film session out too, as well. Voch did a breakdown of Chandler Jones, and he's my on the high end comparison, believe it or not, of Taco. If Taco can never find that energy and strength like he have, and I know I may be eating crow right now, but that's my comparison on the high end. On the low end,
you definitely eat it right now, bro.
I might have to push that down now since he's breaking sledges and things like that. But this is the thing. I saw Dayton Jones during practice. I saw him whoop Zach Martin. And I saw him also whoop Tyron Smith when he was with the Green Bay twice. So he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he got that country strength. And I think that's something that we just really never seen for a long time outside of the taller guys like the David Irvin, Belly Irvin, however you want to call it. Yeah.
Right.
I'll say this though, man.
Oh man, man, bro, the jump scared the hell out of me, boy. What's going on with you, man?
I'll say this. I was on the Twitter machine and I was on Facebook, kind of sort of fussing with the peanut gallery because they are who they are, and I made the case that the Cowboys could be a top 5 defense this year, and people tend to let their anti-Cowboys emotion cloud their judgment a little bit. So I started thinking, so we were like 8th or something last year or whatever, and imagine that, and Zeke don't get hurt and we don't get blown out 3 times. You know what I mean?
We were already there anyway, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And Sean Lee doesn't get hurt for 5 games. We definitely would have been there.
Let me pick both of y'all brains then. What the world makes Minnesota Vikings defense so fierce?
Hey man, they nasty, Law. Don't do that.
No, just help me out. I haven't studied them all the way. I know it's my guy Mike Zim, but what makes them? And I did do this too as well. I compared Xavier Rhodes to Cheeto Bay Awuzie, but what makes them so fierce?
I mean, they're solid on every level. I mean, they got shut down corners in multiple spots.
Terrence Newman, shout out to Tay New.
Listen, they got 2 pass rushes that can pass rush.
Okay.
They got 3 tackles that can beat the run and can get upfield.
They got Anthony Barr.
They got 3 nasty linebackers that I would have wanted at some point. They got 2 safeties. Now,
I mean,
break them down for me, man. I can't wait to hear this. I love this, man. Break it down for me, man.
They got 2 safeties and a top tier cornerback. Like they different. Like the Cowboys have production their way into top 10 or whatever. Minnesota Vikings kick down the door and demand top 3.
When you take talent and you combine it with a Dick LeBeau type mindset that Zimmer has, he's a defensive genius. So, he did well with us both in 3-4 and 4-3. He went to Cincinnati and did it, and now he's doing it over there. So it's no surprise. He knows how to draft. He knows what he's It's not even a matter of just raw talent either. He knows what he's looking for to build his type of team, because he had that when Dexter Coakley, those guys balling out for us. You know what I mean? Those names I haven't said. Brady James, he had those guys balling out. So
Brady James of all people.
He's good with the type of guys that he likes, and I think he likes those underdog second chancers that nobody really like. You see how Roy Williams, Pac-Man. He likes those guys that play with a chip on their shoulders. So I think that's part of it. It's a good combination. It's like a perfect storm over there with their defense. But going back to ours,
how far are we apart?
Law, we a long way, but what we do
as far as rankings, I don't think we are though. Like I was vibing off what you was just saying though, Voch. Like we were already top 5, so the argument is not far fetched. We got better.
I think we have ranking because of how our team plays as a whole. We're not as skilled as the Minnesota Vikings.
We just ain't on the field. Yeah.
But Zeke plus play calling plus situational, things like that, we end up top 10, and that's fine. I'll take it. You know what I mean? But when you look at it on paper or whatever, like people forgot how bad Nolan Carroll was. Y'all remember how bad Nolan Carroll was last year?
Right.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my God.
And if you Byron Jones, all you got to do is kind of be quasi better than Nolan Carroll. Now it's only been 2 days in camp or whatever with pads or whatnot. But
Right.
Byron has looked better than Nolan Carroll so far. You know what I mean?
Right.
And off seasons, man. Just as a former player coach, man, off seasons are just magical. Where you can walk out of February one way and you show up August, September a whole nother player. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Cheeto has gotten better. Jalen has gotten better. Taco, guys up front. Look, we talk about D-Law getting his money. Y'all see that fake spin shimmy swim back inside move that he's doing. Everybody's working on their nuances, man. So I don't think it's very far-fetched that we could be a top 5 defense next year.
Oh no, you 100. You 100. I think we got better. I got a little echo going. I can hear myself twice now.
trying to recalibrate. All right, you guys can hear it now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Without the echo. Shout out to Murphy Law. That's my cousin Murphy Law. He'd like to jump in too.
What up, Murph?
What up?
But yeah, I feel like we definitely got better on D. Like with Vander Esch is taking, I think him and Joe Thomas will take those coverage responsibilities off of Jalen Smith, which makes him instantly better because Jalen Smith, he showed last year coming downhill is his forte. If he's coming forward and playing the run, coming forward and pass rushing, or just playing with his instincts, that's where he's at his best. So him at the Sam, I still like him at the Sam, or even if you leave him at the Mike and he plays, just a Navarro Bowman style play, like just coming downhill, smash mouth, and then have Vander Esch, playing that more athletic cover linebacker position.
What do Anthony Barr play? Because like I said, y'all got to help me.
He's outside. He's the Sam.
Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Sam.
So will he play that quote unquote role? Because he did. Voch, I don't know if you heard me. Guy got 2 forced fumbles.
Anthony Barr gives a lot of he was an edge guy coming out of college. He was an actual defensive end coming out of college. But they keep that pass rush role for him, so they keep him by the line of scrimmage and they let him take on tight ends and stuff. And he can run, but he really get a lot of his money, pass rushing and whatnot.
So you saw what he did to Aaron Rodgers. Say no more.
Yeah, they're trying to get the man suspended because he was like, "Look, man, I'm just playing football, man."
I used to suspend a man for tackling, literally.
I was like,
but I was watching Leighton Vander Esch though. He was on the bags and the sleds, man. I was like, man, look, you don't need to do nothing else but this right here.
What do you do?
You just need to strike and shed all camp. I don't want you learning no plays. I don't want you in no situation. I want your ass on that side on that damn sled, strike and shed. That's all I want. Me and Leighton Vander Esch, we have a very you ever seen the movie? You ever seen the movie Fences? How the dad and the son were on Fences?
Yeah.
Look, dog, I ain't got to like you.
Like you.
Who says I got to like you? But just come in, learn how to share. Sean Lee's gonna keep you one step ahead of everybody else. The D line is gonna keep you as free as possible. Go produce. And I'm not gonna smile when you hit somebody, but when you're not looking, I'm gonna go.
Yep.
That's my boy.
Might shed a little dry tear.
Might shed a little tear, something.
Yeah.
Hey, what the world is they trying to do with Anthony Brown, man? Playing him on the outside, to me personally, they just need to keep Anthony Brown. I know he's switching it over, but Anthony Brown been murdering. He getting murdered out there this year as far as training camp. Can they just keep him into the inside?
Honestly, man, Anthony Brown, I don't know what they're doing with him because I personally don't like the kid anymore. I gave him a pretty bad review, I guess, but I don't like him anymore because I think he's in his own head. He's in his own head a little too much. He played
Can't get right, huh?
Right. He played well his first season because he was balling out, balls to the wall. He was just taking chances, and his tenacity is what stood out. He was he was a lot like Pac-Man, not getting a lot of interceptions, but he's just Pac-Man keeps getting jobs because he's tenacious. He get beat all the time, but he's tenacious. Yeah. Anthony Brown seems like he's getting beat, but now he's getting beat mentally, emotionally, and physically. He just beat. He looks like he's whipped when he's playing, and I want to see him. I want to see him feisty. I want to see him get beat and take somebody by the face mask and just take him to the ground and fight him. Argue with him in practice.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah, he need to do that. I think that he made the world's decision, the worst decision by putting that chip, that Frito-Lay or whatever on his shoulder. Because ever since then, you know, he have not trying to throw shade or salt at him, but damn, bro, you put that chip on your shoulder and your career just pummeling, man, ever since then.
Yeah.
I mean, if something were to happen, like Cheeto or something, knock on plastic table.
Man,
I mean,
let me knock on this wood, man.
If someone happened, you know, I would love to have Anthony at the nickel spot, move Jordan over or something like that.
Nah, I would rather give somebody else a shot, man. I would take if you go and get your ass kicked, I'd rather get my ass kicked with somebody who's supposed to be getting his ass kicked. Like,
do it.
You know, give me a kid like Kelly or one of these young guys, a Lombardi, because you know they're gonna have their growing pains. So I'll take that. You know, I'll live with Tyreek Robinson. Even they're gonna have their growing pains. So I'll deal with that rather than dealing with a guy that we've seen for 2 years, and then 1 year he was okay, second year he was subpar, and now in training camp, that's the one guy in training camp I wanted to see come out, playing fiery, and we'll know in preseason though. I don't really know yet, so I might be eating some crow, but from my thoughts, I think Anthony Brown is a prototypical corner for our old regime. He's like a copy of Orlando Scandrick. But he's not as tenacious. Orlando Scandrick, I didn't mind having on the team until last year when he lost his tenacity. If you watch the KC game, he didn't want to touch nobody because he knew, hey, I might not be playing here next year. So I need to make sure I'm preserving myself. And he looked like he was taking those business decisions. So Anthony Brown is just like that now, but he's young. Whereas when Scandrick was young, he wasn't getting you interceptions, but he would knock the shit out you, and he was good in the slot.
Yeah, because when I saw Anthony Brown his rookie year, when he jumped that pass on Eli, he jumped that route. It wasn't against Eli, right? He just snatched that ball away, and I said, man, this kid is something. And if you look at Pro Football Focus, they had him graded out higher than Jalen Ramsey. I said, damn, his rookie year, believe it or not.
Man, somebody
about to listen to them folks.
Yeah, somebody said he had better hands. I think this SS4 DDK. Shout out to you, bro. He said he had better hands than Scandrick. Yeah, I realized, man, the dude had what 2 interceptions last year, but got his hands on 8 balls, maybe 9 that I counted.
8 balls?
8 balls hit this man in 2 hands. Face mask. He look the Raiders game.
Lewis in Oakland, yeah.
Seattle game, Eagles game.
You see,
KC. Atlanta, he touched balls in numerous games with both hands, okay, and didn't catch and dropped 6 of them. Even in Denver, he dropped a few in there. So, Anthony Brown, I love you, bro. I don't got nothing personal against the guy. I honestly was one of his biggest advocates, but I'm ready to see somebody else in there. You can keep him in there if his cap number ain't too high, and he knows the playbook. He's a veteran, so keep him in there. 5th, 4th, and 5th special team on the depth chart, but I want to see one of these young guys start over him and or Lewis. For start of the season, it got to be Lewis in there, man. I got to see Lewis in that 3-man rotation.
I love Jordan Lewis, man. Jordan Lewis, a gangster, man. You see him talking crazy. Lance Lenore today had him all mad and shook and balled his fists up and called them all kind of crispy, crackety, crunchity coons and all that, boy.
Right, no, for real. I can't wait to see that, man. Y'all, you got to show me that link, boy.
It's on Twitter. Jordan Lewis was talking to Lance Lenore all day, and Lance just got tired of it. He threw his helmet off and wanted to fight Jordan. Jordan just back here chilling.
Throw them hands.
That's what I want.
I like about him.
That's what I want out of him. Talk a little bit, man. And just watching these little clips on Twitter or whatever, you see a lot of the temperament changing. Like when Byron caught his interception, everybody ran over and started celebrating with Byron. That's a lot. What I hate to make this comparison, but that's what they did in Seattle. Somebody get a big hit, they'll run over and celebrate with him. Everybody shook Byron Jones' hand. I like that feel. I like that temperament. And if it's gonna make us better, I mean, top 5.
You need a guy that's gonna get in the heads of receivers out there, man. Like you see what Jalen Ramsey's able to do. But he actually can back it up with his play as well.
Yes, yeah.
Jordan is a guy that's cut from that ilk. He plays bigger than he is. He's an underdog. He's one of my favorite guys out there, man. So I actually don't know who I like the most out of our corners, or out of those three anyway. Because
I just don't like Jordan Lewis playing to the inside though, fam. I just don't like that though. Just keep him outside. I know he don't have the size. We know that, but it's just something about him though.
I mean, I like him outside as well. Not because he doesn't play better inside. I think he does play better in the slot, but I don't think he is better in the slot than Cheeto when all three of them are out there.
True
Cheeto, I like in the slot because that's like having a free safety right there close to the line. So he is our third linebacker. He's a guy out there that plays the run very well when he's close to the line. So, and he's a good blitzer. So I think Cheeto's the most dangerous in the slot. Everybody else has their skill set. Like Jordan will cover you from the slot, but I don't know how great a blitzer he is. Byron will cover pretty well, impress man from the slot, but he's not a great blitzer either. But Cheeto can blitz, and he's great. He's a great tackler. So I would like to see Cheeto as close to the ball as possible.
But let me ask y'all too this then, and you guys know y'all talking my language when you talk about DB play. Would you rather have somebody who's just serviceable inside, or would you rather have somebody that can take that weight that whole side of the field, like a Richard Sherman did?
Inside or you mean outside?
I'm talking about outside. I'm talking about this. I think that's where Cheeto Bay Awuzie can do it. I think that down the line he can just take that side of the field out completely. You don't have to worry about that.
I don't got Cheeto being a lockdown corner.
You don't? I'm talking about physically up close, up tight on the line, and just wreaking havoc and allowing the quarterback to think before they pass on that side.
Cheeto is a playmaker. He takes a lot of chance. He's a playmaker. And when I say that he's not a lockdown corner, don't get me wrong, because the guy I compare him to, you probably wouldn't say he was a lockdown corner either, but you will say he's a Hall of Famer, and that's Charles Woodson. He reminds me of Charles Woodson. He's a guy that will, and Peanut Tillman, those types of guys. They'll get interceptions. They'll force fumbles. They will change the game, but they're not guys like Patrick Peterson or Sherman where it's like, hey, you just don't throw it over there. They're not going to get any interceptions. They're just going to take that guy out the game. I don't think he's not that guy. He's a guy that plays good in zone. He plays with his instincts and his eyes. He's not a guy that says, hey, like Byron is better in that role where you just say, hey, look, you don't have the football IQ, but you got the athleticism. And if I tell you to stick with a guy, you have the ability to do it and the strength to do it. Byron's the guy where you say, hey, just stick this guy and make sure he doesn't catch the ball. Cheeto's the guy where you say make a play and he makes a play. That's just what I've seen. But from the college film and from watching those guys, Jordan's the same way. Jordan's a shutdown guy. He's a guy that just say, hey, just take him out the game.
But my only problem is that Cheeto, he's the only corner that I feel that can play zone and press. I don't think Jordan Lewis plays well in zone, and we already know what Byron Jones do in zone. So it just, I don't know, man. Yeah. Help me out, Voch, man. What you think, man?
I think Jordan Lewis is the best technical cover guy out of all of them. What I see from Byron and Cheeto is they'll get beat, but their ass can recover well. You know what I mean? Like they can run and they're long and they got the limbs and all that. Right. So, and look, something I say about Akoye, man, when that man got a theory, he hold on to it, man.
I'll fight you.
That man been saying Cheeto is slot for a month. And every time he said, I go, ugh. Look at Cheeto outside, quit playing.
Now, I guarantee you, when he get that blind side on Matt Stafford or Cam Newton or one of those guys in the first 4 games in that first quarter of the season, you're gonna look at me, you're gonna say, I don't even want you to say that. I just want you to do the Jerry Maguire point. I just want you to say you. That's it.
I will say this though. I will say this, but I love the logic and the way of thinking though, because that's why I want to put Byron Jones at slot, because he can be our guy, our blitz guy, our linebacker guy, and if he got to cover like a tight end or something, he's in that spot already. So we kind of got the same way of thinking. I just would rather have Byron do it than Cheeto.
Well, let me ask you this though: you go nickel, you put Woods in the slot, and then you keep Frazier and Heath out there.
To be fair though,
go ahead.
I think it's gonna change game by game, because I remember once upon a time, Cowboys didn't really have a set position. Like they would just switch 3 guys. I remember one game, it was against somebody, I forgot, but they didn't want Brandon Carr covering like small, fast people, right?
Right.
So they will, okay, Scandrick, you outside this game covering this guy.
Exactly.
Claiborne would be in the slot, but okay, Alshon Jeffrey's a big guy, so let's put Brandon Carr on Alshon Jeffrey. I think it's going to be a lot of that this year. We're not going to see Jordan Lewis covering 6'5" guys this year.
Nah, it wouldn't make sense.
You know, it would.
Yeah, it showed different.
Right. So we're gonna put big on big, and if it happens that like when we play Atlanta, Julio gonna be in the slot, this would be the perfect time to put Cheeto or Byron ass in the slot.
Jordan Lewis is our Chris Harris, man. Hopefully he's that good, but he's our Chris Harris. He's a Chris Harris.
Yeah, Denver guy.
Okay, watch this. So we just said that, right? So say we against Atlanta, Julio in the slot, Sanu and Calvin Ridley on the outside. Calvin Ridley is a technical route runner, so you would put Jordan Lewis on him.
Right.
Byron Jones on Sanu, and you would put Cheeto on be on the slot or something like that.
I would put Byron
Either
on.
way.
Yeah, I would put him on Jones. I put him on Julio.
Because size and athleticism, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, that's way far out there. What about this week 2? Who's gonna cover Odell? Who's gonna cover Odell?
I think you're gonna see a combination because Odell is a lot more physical than people give him credit for. Odell is a lot like D-Hop. You know, yeah, he will beat you up. So you can't put a little guy on Odell and think that that's going to service it because he can run routes real well and he's fast. If you want to see how we'll play him, watch what Brandon Carr was able to do in that game in 2016. The second time we played the Giants, they put Brandon Carr, not David Carr. I hope they put David on him, but put Brandon Carr on Odell, and I think Odell only beat him for he beat him for a 60-yarder, but it was off of a slant. And he just beat him inside. And once he got inside, I think they had Barry Church spying all game. And they were shutting him down. I think that's the combination. You put a guy that can smack him in his mouth like Heath over top of him, or Frazier over top of him, maybe even Woods over top of him, and just have Byron Jones or I wouldn't even risk Cheeto on him because I think, like I said, Cheeto's more effective.
But you got to worry about Ingram too. He's vertical stretch now, and I'm thinking that he's picking up.
Ain't
worry about Ingram.
I would take Byron Jones on Odell with a man over the top. Period. Because Byron Jones, I'm not worried about him, using his eyes or his instincts to get an interception anyway. Just say, look, play man on this guy, and that's it. And then have Jordan Lewis stick Shepard, and then from there let Cheeto use his instincts to in the middle of the field, like from slot over to either force fumbles, sacks, intercept, whatever. Because he's shown in the 5 games that he played that he has a knack for that, and I just want to see him free flowing. He's like Asante Sims. He's a guy that you don't say, hey, shut this guy down. That you would be hurting him if you did that. I think you just say, listen, you do what you do. That's what he did in college. He wasn't a shutdown guy in college. He used his eyes. He was a guy that he would be sticking one man and jump the route that's coming up underneath him. He's that guy, and he's better at zone than he is at man because he uses his eyes and his instincts. So him and Woods are great with their eyes.
Paul Rod Marinelli's gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna trust him. I'm gonna trust him. Whatever he decides to do, I'm gonna trust him, dog. You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried about it. We at least we got talent. You know what I mean? We got guys now. So whatever we decide to do, I'm cool with it. Put Anthony Brown on see what happens.
It don't matter if you
he's not gonna catch no interceptions.
Man,
bat down, baby.
Man, that's roasted. You try to get Anthony Brown fired. He'll be cut the next week. He'll be cut by week 3.
Hey, Max, shout out to Maxwell. It says, and Rob we trust in the chat box. Also, Montana 808 Cowboys fan since 1990 of 3. Law Nation in the gang. All goats. Everybody goats. That's what I'm talking about.
That's facts.
I was born in 92.
Oh, man, I didn't know you was that young man. I was born in 83. You make me
26,
feel old.
26 years old, man. 26. Young man.
Oh, wow,
young man. Rumble, young man.
Yes, indeed, boy. 92, boy. You were born and when we would start winning, boy.
Yeah. I ain't seen nothing since. I ain't never seen a Super Bowl before, man. So I think it could be this year, man. You know, I don't even want to sound like an optimistic fan or whatever, but the teams that win the Super Bowl that ain't called the New England Patriots are always the ones ain't nobody really talking about, and they're filled with opportunists. You know, superstars really don't win Super Bowl. Like the most talent stacked teams never win it. It's always the teams that have cohesion and they have
the best team. Yeah, the best team wins it.
I think the Cowboys got a great team. Now, you know, people don't like Jason Garrett or whatever, but I mean, it's something to culture building. You know what I mean?
This is the best team we've had in a long time.
Yeah. So
and that's with Dez and Witten leaving.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because when they were playing with it was Dez Witten. It was the Dez Witten Romo show and DeMarco Murray show. Now we got 4 running backs that I like. We got a bunch of receivers I like. We got a quarterback I'm like in the middle. I halfway like him, halfway don't, depending on what he's doing. We got an offensive line that I love.
Have y'all been seeing my son Michael Gallup out there, though, man?
Gallup is out there.
Spider-Man, man.
I've been seeing my son Michael Gallup out there running them routes, though, man. See my son, man.
That's my pet cat right there, boy. That guy.
Pet cat because he my son-in-law. You're gonna have to pick up Van Fresh or Dorrance Armstrong or Dalton Schultz or something. I got Cobbs on Gallup. I got Cobbs on Connor Williams. Pick somebody else, Law.
Man, you gonna let me see who else I can take a look at.
But you like Byron? Don't you like one of these corners or something? One of these DBs? Hip Pocket Lewis. Let be your pick.
I had a dark horse, Marquez White. You know, he's my dark horse. You know, for
well, dark horse them. My son Michael Gallup, because when he come out here and light everything up, I'm gonna be like, "That's my son."
you gonna give him the King Jaffe Joe?
My son works.
My son works. What is this? That dog will walk through that building. What is this? It's a photograph. What is this? You're not Akeem. I know that.
Yeah, Kunta Kinte.
Where's the spoon?
Who's gonna clean up these flowers?
Hey, who gonna clean up these flowers? That was the funniest part ever in the movie, man. Boy, good and terrible, boy. Randy Watson, yes.
Yep. I just had a intro. I just did that for Randy Gregory's video.
Yeah. Man, look, y'all see Randy Gregory looking swole out there, man.
Looking like Samuel Jackson's son.
The most impressive thing about Randy Gregory this offseason so far is the way he hit that punch meter, that punch machine.
Yeah.
He knocked this. He hit like 900 pounds of pressure in a jab. I like, this man strong as hell. So that just shows.
I lost my mind.
He came back in an explosive condition, man. He looks good, man. So kudos to him, because we got guys like Irvin on the team who can't get right, you know. So I like Irvin. I love him. But if he don't get his shit together, we got too much talent now. And I don't think he realizes that he and this is not me knocking down Dez at all. But Dez, I don't think weighed the gravity of the situation he was in. And I don't think Irving is either. We got so much talent that can play. We got too much talent that can play 3 technique and left end. You know, we don't have a lot of right ends, but we got a lot of 3 tech guys and a lot of left ends. We don't got a lot of 1 techs, and we don't have a lot of right ends. That's it. So if D-Law is moved to the right or left, then you got Gregory, who definitely is relegated to the right only. You know, that's the only spot he can play. Irvin can play that left side, and he can play the 3 tech. But you got Ely, you got Jihad Ward, who's okay athletically, but with Rod Marinelli, I'm already excited about him because I know what Rod Marinelli can do with guys like Benson Mayowa, who I actually liked. So at the end of the day, we're much better
collectively. We are
than we've ever been in the years that I can think of. Like, we haven't been this good up front in a long time. So Irving pulling the bullshit that he's pulling right now, he's not weighing the gravity of the situation. Irving might not be playing not only for the Cowboys, but in the league if he keeps up the antics. You know, he needs to get it together and focus, because honestly, Irvin is one of the best talents, all around talents that I've seen up front in a while. Other than you got like I said, I compare him to Calais Campbell. He's a guy that plays long.
Wow.
He could play 3 technique, 1 technique, left end. Only place I wouldn't put him, and I still would put him over there. If you're gonna put Crawford over there, I would put Irving on the right too, because we put Crawford on the right. So I would put Irving on the right if you put Crawford on the right. So there's not a spot that Crawford or Irving can't play on this line. And
I think we only put Crawford at the right out of necessity, because we tried the Crawford at left, D-Law at right situation, and that didn't work because D-Law is so naturally good at left. So we ended up leaving D-Law at left and just putting Crawford at right. But, man, if you can fit a natural right defensive end up in there, Randy Gregory. Oh, my God.
Oh my God!
This and look, I don't even want to talk us up. I like to be underrated.
Go ahead and take that, Ben.
I don't want no props till it happen, Lord. But this thing can be special, bro. Do you understand the offensive line we just built? The offensive line that we just built. Like,
they're gonna be practicing against them every day.
Like, and the one key I keep looking at, I'm like, man, look, if Lael Collins can just be better than Doug Free, this thing gonna be special.
Right.
And that ain't hard, dog. This thing gonna be special. Connor Williams gonna come in, he gonna be just fine. I look at Connor Williams as a first-round talent. There's never been an offensive line with 5 first-round talents, all under 20. They all 26 and up.
27 down. I think Tyron 27.
27. Cool. Everybody in their prime. 5 first-round talents in their prime. That's nasty. With the best running back in the game behind him. I said it. With the best running back in the game.
Y'all heard it, boy.
Yeah, it don't even matter. I could run the ball behind them now.
Because Joseph Randall left meat on the bone, Akoye.
Right now with my Pat Round, I can finish drinking this.
Boy, pour me up a glass, baby.
I can finish drinking this and go sit right behind them and be just fine.
No way. Boy,
I just really think people overblowing this receiver situation, people overblowing this safety situation.
Right.
You know how good the Cowboys are? Like, they go, well, how they look at linebacker? Well, they good. Well, how they look at corner? They good. Well, how they look at well, what about your safeties then? If that's about the 5th thing you going to get to before you find some criticism, sure. Right. And like I said earlier, we went top 10 with those 2 safeties. Let's run it. Let's run it. We went top 10 with Byron Jones and Jeff Heath, that damn safety.
Man, I'm tired of people disrespect. See, this was crazy.
Yeah.
You see how much we even do it because we just did it.
Yeah.
You see how much airtime we gave Lewis?
Okay.
How much airtime we gave Cheeto and Byron? Our best overall secondary player last year was who?
Jeff Heath.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier was the Swiss pocket knife.
Nobody was asked to do more than Xavier Woods. And
throw those stats at me, fam. Throw those stats. Hit me with those stats. I'm
he got beat for 1 touchdown all year. That was a play action on the line of scrimmage. That's it. Other than that, he got beat for nothing.
How many snaps he played though altogether? Was he coming off?
He's the only one who played from opening bell to the end of the season.
I gotta do my homework then.
Jordan Lewis, I think he played week 2. He started week 2. Then you had Cheeto, you already know was out. But they get more fanfare as rookies than Woods. But Woods played consistently but quietly all year. And the reason he was quiet, because you couldn't pick on his ass.
I like him.
He didn't do anything great. But he was a guy where if he wasn't out there, I would have took Woods over Frazier in those spots because Frazier's limited as far as his mobility. You know, he don't have a hip movement and the versatility as a Woods. So if we'd have had Frazier and Heath starting, or just Byron out there, and Byron wouldn't been able to play those man positions against those tight ends if it wasn't for Woods. Woods created, and that's why Chris Richard came in and gave him the respect he was due, and that's why we don't have Earl Thomas, because we already have a prototypical, bigger, stronger. I ain't gonna say he's faster or more instinctual, but bigger, stronger Earl Thomas anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like in Woods is asked to do so much, and that was before Chris Richard.
You guys are listening to the words of Akoye.
Yep.
I don't know, man. That Earl Thomas is just, man. I just can't put a finger to it, man.
The only thing that's making me not lose my mind over this Earl Thomas thing is that he's 29. If Earl was like 25 and we got a chance to get him, I'd be pulling my hair out. But the fact that he's 29, I'm like, okay. But I look at it like this, man, because the 80% always hit me up. Oh, we could have got Earl Thomas. We could have traded up to get Derwin James. The way I look at it, I would rather have Xavier Woods, Connor Williams, and Michael Gallup than to have one of those guys as safeties and sitting out one of those rounds. You see what I mean?
That's a fact.
True that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, keep your guys.
You made it clear to me when you said, hey, man, just take Connor Williams and put him at 19 and take Vander Esch and put him in the second round, and you got yourself a happy draft. And I said, you know what? I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So that's what you made me like Vander Esch with that move right there, because I never disliked him. I just didn't like him at 19. But the moment we got Connor Williams, I saw this dude doing those box jumps. I said, shit, I'm cool. I didn't even care that you made me forget Will Hernandez's name with Connor Williams. I said, Will who?
People call themselves checking me too, right? Oh, Voch, you changed your tone on Vander Esch. She a Cowboy now, huh? I never called Vander Esch trash. I still want Harold Landry. I still want Will Hernandez. I still want Isaiah Wynn. I just have a very love-hate relationship with Leighton Vander Esch, and I had no idea that Connor Williams was going to fall to 50. Number-wise, there was no way we know that he was going to fall to 50. Exactly. I'll take the configuration up. I don't mind.
And then the other thing that you got to think of, the reason, we're getting back to like Earl Thomas, the reason I really never said, you notice I don't say anything about the guy really, except for we already cool with Heat. And that's not a knock on Earl Thomas. I love Earl Thomas. Don't get me twisted. He can ball. He can still ball. And he would make this team better, no doubt. No doubt. But at the price tag that he's asking for, I don't think we need him. And with the leverage that we have, you got to think Lakers and Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. Lakers didn't go after Kawhi Leonard because they're going to get him for free next year. It's the same thing. We're going to get Earl Thomas for free anyway because he already admitted when he hits the market, he wants to play here. So why would we sell our shirt to get a guy who we're going to get in a year anyway? Doesn't matter.
I agree.
Earl Thomas, let's table that conversation. If for whatever reason Frazier is hurt and can't play, we have guys now. I know we're not talking about the Anthem situation, but we have guys out there who are able to play. I would bring in a Kenny Vaccaro, who I think is aligned with a Kevon Frazier, or Eric Reed. You can get them for a steal right now. A steal. And Eric Reed is a bona fide Pro Bowler. So the reason I'm not all over Earl Thomas, because it makes no sense to be all over a guy who wants that type of money when we can get a guy that's younger and not as good. But I would say Earl Thomas is 1A Earl Thomas is 1 and Eric Reed is 1A. You know what I'm saying? He's a player that can ball, he can run, he can tackle, he's instinctual. He got everything Earl got except he's younger.
And he won't toe the line though. He won't toe the line. So Jerry Jones not going to get him. So that's just how it goes. Politics how it goes.
We know that he's not going to get him, but we don't know that the guy won't kneel. Like we haven't. No one's even given him a chance to even say whether or not he will or won't. Kneel this year. No. Honestly, I think all players at this point, they should chill on the nil in the first place, just for the fact that if you're not following it up with anything outside of Sundays, then chill. You're only doing it because Trump called you a son of a bitch. You're not. Now Eric Reed is different. He was doing it from the rip. But the rest of them is like, look, man, it's a moot point because if you're doing it out of sheer defiance, I feel you when we started it last year because somebody, kind of poked the bear. But we fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So at this point, it's like, look, man, fuck all that. Let's get back to football. And the guys who were kneeling for their causes, who were already putting money behind their causes, like Reed and Cap, let them keep doing what they're doing with their bread, and whatever. But Eric Reed, you got to ask that man first. Will he continue to kneel, and will he continue to make it an issue? Ask him.
Thing about Reed though, I don't think it may have something to do with the kneeling, sure. But the way I see it though, I think there's something about those corners coming in together. Even though Eric could possibly be more talented than Woods or whatever. I don't know. That's somebody's opinion. But we know Woods and Cheeto and Jordan and Byron, all them boys cool already. You know what I mean? And it's something about continuity. You know what I mean? So I would rather have Woods. It's something about playing together. Reed is some dude that we don't even know that come in and we think he could play. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying on that. Yeah.
Chemistry-wise, it may be better to roll with Woods anyway.
I was saying that in regards to Frazier, not Woods. Though I think Woods and Heath are our starters right now. If we went after a Reed, he would fight for playing time against one of those two guys. And honestly, I don't even know. You got a good point because I don't know where he would play, where he would start. I think if Kevon is not healthy because he has those blood clots right now, so if he can't get healthy and he's only playing spot work anyway, it doesn't really. We need another safety, but we don't need another starter.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need another starter.
I'm gonna have to look up film on this Marqueston Huff. There were a lot of people were talking about. You know, maybe.
No, let me tell you something, man.
Don't do it.
Don't fall into training camp Twitter finger limbo, dog. You know, people look good in Gus Johnson is my favorite example. That's my favorite example. I always go back to Gus Johnson. Next thing you know, that boy bagging groceries, boy. I don't even want to get. But
paper
if I
or plastic. But
if I can make one more point about Earl, though, it was never about the money. Cowboys know how to do these salary cap gymnastics. They can hit these buttons. They can make money if they want to. Next year we're gonna have like 70 million in like free cap. It's never about that. But these draft picks are so valuable, and that's what the 80% don't realize. They out here just throwing around these. Oh, give them a second round pick for Earl for the 29-year-old safety. Listen, man, if you look at your second and third round picks, those are two starters on your offense that you feel good about. You know what I mean? Those are two starters.
With Will McKay, think about what we already just said. Like where you say we're solid in most of our positions. We know what our offensive line is. We know who our quarterback is. We even have a backup quarterback in Mike White and Cooper Rush. So I even like those guys, and they're young. So we know who our running back is, and we have talent behind him too. You know, and that continuity is there because they played together in college as well. So and then you have Noah Brown, you know, whatever, who played with those guys too. But our wide receiver core is young and tenacious, and somebody's going to emerge this year. So imagine what we're going to be able to do in the draft. I don't really care what we do this year as long as if we make the playoffs this year, right? And hear me out.
I'm listening to you.
I've been saying, and I really mean, I do want a 6th ring, but I'm happy, and I'm not a moral victory guy, but I am happy with a playoff victory this year because that tells me one thing. This year, we are exactly what our record says we are this year because of the teams that we're facing. We're facing the Jaguars or the AFC South as a whole, all 4 of those teams.
You can play.
So the Colts with Andrew Luck, they're dangerous. The Titans, dangerous. They play exactly like us, except for they're 3-4
Yeah.
Right? They play exactly like us.
Jags, Texans, yeah.
The Titans, dangerous. And they run a little bit more actually with the quarterback, but they're dangerous. Then you have the Texans with a healthy Watson, dangerous as fuck. They made Chris Richard's defense look like Swiss cheese. So at the end of the day, you know, and then you got the Jags. So at the end of the day,
hold on, who all over there? Jags,
all 4: the Jags, Titans, Colts,
yeah,
and Texans.
Well, the Colts might be a homecoming game then, right?
Yeah, the Colts might. We might put up some points in the Colts, but we don't know what Andrew Luck is going to make that team look like. We don't know.
The homecoming game we got, in my opinion, is like Tampa Bay. Everybody else can play. Everybody else can play. We got. Watch this. So we got Panthers, Giants, Seahawks, Lions, Texans, Jags, Redskins, Titans, Eagles, Falcons, Redskins, Saints,
everything.
Eagles, Colts. Then we got the Buccaneers, and we end up with the Giants.
They put them towards the end.
Now look, part of this don't scare me too much because at the end of the day, we the Cowboys too. We ain't no homecoming game neither.
No, not at all. Right. But like I said, but you already know though, Voch. Yeah. If we come out of this 9-7, 10-6 in the playoffs, yeah, I'm a happy man. And then That's why I'm saying going into next year's draft, and who knows whether we win the Super Bowl or not with that record, but going into next year's draft with the team that we have on paper right now and adding some key players both in free agency and in the draft, like I know next year we're gonna make next year our best year. That's 100. And I'm not giving up on this season by saying that. I'm just saying that's why you don't give up no picks to go get no damn Earl Thomas.
Meanwhile, damn Tom Brady playing the Bills twice.
Man.
Dolphins twice.
Man.
Jets twice.
The goddamn Jets twice.
That boy blessed, man. That boy blessed, man.
Look, man,
Hallelujah.
I don't want to be pro Jason Garrett, man, because your chat box started to hate me on this or whatever. But it's a lot of people that feel like this is a make or break year, like oh, we need to get to the NFC Championship or fire Jason Garrett. Like, bro, you know how hard that road is, dog. Like, use your brain. Like we have a talented team, sure, but this schedule that we got is not going. Like, we got playoff games up and down this damn schedule, and it ain't gonna be easy. I do think we're gonna win majority of it because I do think that we are that talented, and some of these teams ain't as good as us, even though they are good. But we just can't be coming out here talking about, oh, I need to see 15 wins from Jason Garrett or
oh no.
So and then the other myth too as well, dominating your division doesn't guarantee you a playoff victory or playoff chances. Because we went 5-1 last year, right? And we supposed to be a trash of a team. 5-1 in the division normally gets you into the playoff.
That's the other side of that coin. Like we got the AFC South, we got our division, and all three of those teams play us rough every time. You know, we don't know what the Giants are going to be this year. You know, you realize we didn't play Odell at all. We didn't see Odell last year.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
You know, we didn't see him on the field. So that's already a given. And then, you know, they played us just as well defensively. They just didn't have the offensive firepower to deal with us last year. So the Giants are going to be different. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And then you got the rest.
But just give a quick scouting report on the Eagles. Nick Foles is taking all the starting reps, so I mean,
wow,
yeah. So they yet to put number 11 in there. So Nick
Makes
Foles
sense,
taking all the starting reps.
Makes sense.
They gotta break him along slow. They don't want to get him hurt. That's all.
I mean, he tore his ACL like what, week 12 or something, week 11.
Yeah. He probably will be back. He'll probably be on the pup list to the last week of preseason or something.
We'll see.
But I will say though, I do think we're gonna beat the hell out the Panthers. I think we're going to beat the hell out the Texans. The Redskins going to get swept. I think we can beat the Titans or whatever. Everything else, bar fight.
Yep. It's going to come down. But see, now that's the key, though. We match up well depending on how well we game plan. So this year is all about coaching and attrition, depending on who gets hurt. So that's the attrition aspect. But it's going to be coaching because if we're healthy, we match up well against almost everybody that we're up against. So it's not like we can't beat the Jags. It's not like I'm bitching and saying we can't beat these teams. Yeah. But it's going to come down to coaching. So those of you who want Garrett out, Garrett is going to be on the spotlight too. But I doubt that he's on the hot seat because he's a guy that will do exactly what Jerry wants him to do. Garrett is a Ivy League grad. And Garrett is smart enough he has enough emotional intelligence to understand what it takes to make Jerry happy for some reason, because he's been doing it.
And as we approach the final 5 minutes, go ahead. I'm just letting y'all know the final 5 minutes.
Man, it ain't 12 yet. What you mean, bro?
bro, I got
no limit around these parts.
I don't want people to get it twisted or whatnot. I do think we can whoop ass on most of these teams because at the end of the day, that's still Blake Bortles. You know what I mean? That's still. That's still Matt Stafford. Like we can find different matchups in each of these games. So there's some cause to be optimistic, but let's just not think that we just supposed to walk past 12 of these teams with clear W's or whatever. Let's not
play that game. Yeah,
everything got to be earned.
No doubt, man. We didn't touch one topic, man. We didn't touch this. And shout out to the guy that made the donation a long time ago. He said, talk about the tight end. I didn't forget about you, but I forgot your name. But we're going to talk about the tight end. Any thoughts, man?
People love to talk. Ain't nothing to say about the tight end. Like, we don't know. We have no idea. People want Rico to start. Bruh, like, Rico might not make this team.
I doubt that Rico make the team.
Rico might not make this damn team. And as far as like Jarwin and Schultz and and Swain. I mean, it's open season for them. So as we get information, we see.
Jarwin been balling in training camp.
I want Schultz to do something so I can be like, oh, Schultz, man, I just can't wait to see this, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, Schultz.
I mean,
preseason, man. Preseason gonna, clear everything up for us. So
yeah. I just want to see what we do at D tackle, man. I want to see Collins healthy. If Collins is healthy, I think that we're good.
Yeah,
we're good. It just depends on whether or not he's healthy. If he's not, I just want to see what type of rotation we're going to put out there because I like Jihad, as I said. I definitely like Crawford now.
Mm-hmm.
So you could pick Crawford at the 3. I don't know who will play that one technique, though. So we have to get creative. I even like D-Tone. I said that, if we have to, we can go small. But without Collins, we definitely have to play like we played in 2016 where we're playing with a lead, where we're using 2-3 technique tackles because we're pass rushing all day. You know what I mean? Because we're playing with a lead, so they have their ears pinned back. If it's not, and it's a close game, and we're playing a lot of close, field position, turnover ratio type games, then it's going to be a war of attrition. And you don't want to have a guy that's 280 in there, taking a beating for 4 quarters. You don't want that. So I'm really the only position I'm worried about is the one tech and Collins' foot.
Yes, indeed. Collins' foot, something else, man. So with that being said, man, I really thank everybody for tuning in. I just want to give a few shots out to those who's in the chat box, the flame box, and the F book panel. I want to shout out to John Sparks, 13-3. That's what he's predicting. That's what he got out there, guys. Anybody can top that, 13-3. If that happened, I will buy you beer. Okay, John? And Streaming Willie Beeman, the Philadelphia All-Star. He's in this mix too as well. He's a Philadelphia fan. He said Geno Smith would be a huge asset, something like that. Much due to nothing. And also DJ Cobbs, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Let me jump over to my Facebook panel. The panel's the Elite Young Money. What's up, man? To you, Young Wilson. Shout out to DeMarcus Stokes too as well. 10-6. That's what he's going with. That's what he's rolling with. And Kerry Teagles, man. Shout out to you, man. Who y'all got over there, man?
Shout out to Stevie Mack, April Stanton, Emmanuel Edwards. William Becker thinks that we're gonna be 13-3 or 12-4 too. And I'll double down on you, man. I'll buy him. Matter of fact, I'll give him this case of Patron I got over there. I got 11 Patron bottles over here on the floor. So I'll give you a whole case of Patron. If we hit 13-3, 12-4, I'm gonna be so damn happy. I'm not even, and you can quote me on that. I don't mind. I get looking for dumbass cheap prices. So go ahead, let's go.
This channel is sponsored by
Patron.
Patron. Hey, screenshot that name, John Sparks. Screenshot that name. Send that email to Laws Nations at Gmail. Send that email to that, and that way I can just make sure I can be man up for my word. You know what I'm saying? Just in case we go 13-3. That's a fact, man. I will buy you beer, but I don't know about Patron. That's him.
He said he in Israel. He said you got to ship it to Israel. I appreciate the service.
Yeah, nah, shipping gonna be $50.
Drop shipping, nah. You got to come to one of the games. You just had to meet me up somewhere down here in Dallas. You know what I mean?
William Becker worked for the Zohan. He out there. He said, "Don't mess with the Zohan."
Hey guys, man, this show, for those who are in the chat box, man, we do have a podcast. It's Law Nation. Check that out, man. Just hit that up, especially on the road. You're traveling around. You can't jump on. You can't see our faces and stuff like that. You just jump on that podcast. You'll see all that good stuff. Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, YouTube. You guys know where we at. Find out where we at. Hit us up, and I'm talking about the Dallas prospect too as well. Every legend was once a prospect. Just think about that. Even Deion Sanders. They said Deion Sanders was running 4.2 when he was playing Pee Wee. So every legend was once a prospect, guys. Akoye, tell them where they can find you at, man.
Man, one and only Akoye Media. You can find me at Akoye Media on YouTube, Patreon.com/Akoye. I am _ Akoye on IG. If you guys want to bore yourselves to death watching me go and attend weddings and all that, you want to see my wedding speech skills, you can go out there, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, you know, my mainstay is Akoye on YouTube. So, you know, definitely come check me out, man. I got a lot coming down the pike now. I'm actually sitting still for a change, so I'm able to pump out a little bit more content.
Hey, man, you got to say this thing right here, man. Patreon, man. You got to talk about that. You know, let them know what about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As you guys can see, man, people lately been showing mad love on Patreon, and I appreciate that. Like I said, April, Antoine Myers, you know, Barry from official americasteam.com been showing love. If I forget some of you guys' name, I'm not looking at them, but you know, a lot of you guys have been showing me love out there. Jasmine, Big Jake, you know. But if you guys do, I've been doing a reward system. I'm kind of tweaking it. You can poll it and see what you guys like. But if you guys want to be in my intros, because you know I always do something theatrical with my intros, then anybody that donates $10 or more and sends me their own, whatever you want to say. You can say Akoye media approval with the film. That's what people are electing to say. But you can say whatever you want, 15 seconds or less. And I've been a man of my word thus far. I will throw you right in my intros, and you can plug your business. You can do whatever you want for that $10, man. So I don't know anybody can get that type of marketing, especially if you're in the Dallas area. You know, you ain't gonna get that type of marketing for that cheap stuff.
That's some stone cold marketing right there, man. That's a brilliant idea, man. That's good, man. That's nice. Hey, my brother from another mother, no other. I'm talking about from the same home skillet. I call him the people champ. Y'all can call him whatever y'all want to call him. But hey, Voch, man, tell him who you are, man.
I am Voch Lombardi, and I'm about to put $10 in the Akoye Super Patreon because this man averaged 500,000 views per video. So shit, talk about some eyes on. Let me squint like he be doing. Let me look on the screen like he be doing. Let me squint.
I'm blind as hell, man.
But hey man, it's Voch Lombardi. It's Voch Lombardi. John Wick III, Gaston Glock, VOCHLOMBARDI. Y'all follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on YouTube. I watch film. I put it on the screen. I don't lie to you. I'm not a part of the Peanut Gallery. We bring nothing but facts, sir. FAX. Facts, sir. You understand? The Patreon, though, is more important than food and water, people. I know I got this big jug H2O in front of me, but that's how we live. That's how we stay functional. That's how we keep our lights on. That's how we remain better than the Peanut Gallery. We stay close to the people. We are the voice of the people. Law called me people's champ, but I think we're all champions of the people. If you reach out to the 4-letter networks, they may or may not hit you back. If you hit up Akoye with a question, he'll hit you back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You hit Law, we have answers. You hit Voch Lombardi, we have answers. So you give back to us, we reciprocate to you, and it's all one big circle of content, quality, entertainment, and Cowboys family.
100.
Check us out.
100, man. That boy cold with the mic, man.
Yeah, man.
Bro, you out? You already out? I thought you were still going, man.
Tear that mic off and just drop it on the floor.
VOCH. Let me squint and see. VOCH LOMBARDI. Follow me on everything, y'all. Salute.
Follow my boy, man, Voch Lombardi from the same hometown, man. We holding it down. Let me just say this. Go ahead.
One last one, because he just came in late. Shout out to Adrian Lindsay. I can't see if it's Adrian.
You can't see.
I don't know if it's male or female. I can't see the little picture. But Adrian is a unisex name. So shout out to Adrian Lindsay. He or she, and no disrespect to you, Adrian, but he or she said that they got
your boy forehead on the camera.
I'm not picking on you, Adrian. I'm serious. He just donated $5 in my super chat. I appreciate it.
Man.
And he said, he got added to my content. I appreciate you.
Hey, man, y'all make the donation to help give Akoye some glasses, baby.
Glasses, man.
LASIK surgery.
Whenever
are
you
now.
put that Akoye, you got to do it in bold letters, and the font got to be bigger than 40.
Put that 72 font up in there.
It's the liquor, man. It's the liquor.
Oh, man, blame it on the alcohol.
I said he a guy. He a
guy. Good boy. You better really check me down.
No, I said that. No, funny shit though. My first girlfriend name was Adrian. That's why I ain't know. And you got Rocky too. You know what I'm saying?
Adrian.
So I didn't know what it was. I was like, all right, man, I don't know.
I, brother Adrian.
Brother Adrian, what's up, man? Shout out to you, man. Salute, man. Salute to y'all, man. Shout out to 5 Group, David, B, D, Will, and this guy named Voch Lombardi. It's a cold name, standard only.
It's a wrestler.
Standard only. That's a cold name, bro.
What are you, a luchador? What are you?
I don't know what kind of wrestler.
I don't know.
He doing the Hulk Hogan in his thumbnail though.
Oh man, hey, don't forget to give a shout out to Jackie Smith. She in this thing too as well, man.
Let me give another shout out too, because I just realized Steaming Willie Beam.
Streaming, yeah.
I just realized he's an Eagles fan.
You didn't realize that?
I didn't know this. I just thought he was just around talking shit to be talking shit. But apparently, Eagles, they don't have a solid YouTube community for him to go to.
EDP.
So you gotta hear, tidbits of Eagles talk from us or whatever. So, you know what I mean? Salute to him for coming through, supporting the Cowboys, man, giving us views and, supporting our nation or whatnot. Salute
that's a common thing, though. There's a lot of Panthers fans on here, a lot of Eagles fans, a lot of Giants, 49ers.
Because we got the sauce.
And you know what's crazy, Cowboy? They actually, because we don't talk about anything other than Cowboys, they actually go on the Patreon and donate because they beg you to create content for other teams.
The Aaron Rodgers film that you did, I was like, oh.
Yeah, hey man, that was a $50 donation. I couldn't ignore him. I said, all right, man, I'm gonna make the film for you, brother. You asked me to, I'm gonna do it.
It's a nice business to be in when all the teams can just come together and just ask you for shit. That's why I like doing draft content for everybody. Cause,
right.
Yeah, and then looking towards the future, this night here, guys, plug this on your calendars, because on Tuesday night, me and Akoye, we not gonna just talk about Cowboys. We're gonna talk about the upcoming opponent. We're gonna do film. He gonna throw a film. We're gonna break it down. I'm gonna throw a film. I'm gonna break it down. We're gonna be live. We're gonna take a look at stuff. We're gonna answer you guys' questions. We're gonna try to do like the what's that Voch Lombardi, the Swami. The Swami, when you trying to sports is now you can gamble, and we're gonna try to give you guys.
I thought you said the swap meet.
The Swami, whatever Chris Bouchard, whatever they got, not Chris Bouchard, Chris Bruman. Chris Bruman, the Swami.
I don't know what the hell he talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh man, just hang me out to dry. Well, I'm gonna pull the Akoye. I'm gonna blame it on this little alcohol. You know what I mean?
I want to say feng shui.
Guys, help me reach the 30,000 before the season start, man. We got to get there, man, one way or another. I'm close. You guys see the ticker down at the bottom of the screen. Don't forget to subscribe to this page, like this page, rub the notification button. Make love to the notification button. Oh, yeah. Close the door.
Yeah, he just got 5 followers with the voice. Yeah. Look at it.
And remember, we're going to get on out of here, man. I really thank everybody for tuning in to the nation, tuning in to Voch Lombardi Show, tuning in to my guy Akoye, accumulating knowledge over years of experience. Prove it with the film, right?
Right.
Let me go and get my cut off right here, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to Akoye Media. Prove it with the film.
There you go. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cut this little.
Cut that part out, man.
That's gonna be in the intro right there. You got it. That's gonna get you your 30,000 by tomorrow. Watch.
There you go, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's rock and roll, man. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. We're out.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda. Peace.
Yep. Adrian. Mister.